Welcome to another edition of the Fearless Football Forecast. That is our brand.
It is.
So I'm getting that out there. The whole crew is back. We got some good games to talk about.
Yes.
I think some good conference games. We're getting near the playoffs, so they're all kind of important at this point.
Indeed.
So Tony, the first one probably headlines the week. Game of the week, whatever you want to say. You talk about an important game. Eastern Wayne faces DH Conley.
Yeah, games at Conley. Probably the best game of the week as far as talent level goes, I think you would say. Eastern Wayne. I mean, we knew going into last week that team was pretty good. I don't think any of us knew that they were 63-23 over J.H. Rose good.
Yeah.
When that score came in, Jim, you and I both were just like, whoa. Like, I'm not surprised that Eastern Wayne won. I'm surprised that they dropped 63 points and beat Rose by 40.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That team's legit. Jim, we also discussed yesterday, kind of surprised that they didn't get any top 10 love in the state poll.
Yeah,
I mean,
right
what
outside. What do you got to do?
do they have to do? I mean,
I voted for him. I voted in that
as
poll,
you should have.
and I did vote for him.
You're all over it. So yeah, I mean that team comes in rolling. Conley, still got a lot to fight for. A lot of tough games left for them. The slate is not very kind to them going down the stretch here, beginning with this game.
Yep. All right. Probably a close one, but who are you going to pick?
I'm picking Eastern Wayne. I hate to go against the locals, but I just feel like Eastern Wayne proved to me last week that they are legit. The only loss they've had, I think, is to New Bern, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
The best team in the state, arguably. So
And they played New Bern really well.
it wasn't a blowout. So I feel like Eastern Wayne's got enough to get that win.
All right, Jim.
I got to go with Eastern Wayne, too. It's a tough call to make because I just dropped my piece of
Yeah, that's how much you hated making that pick.
But we're talking about two really hot teams, too.
Yeah.
Connolly's, since their bye week, has just been on a roll.
Yeah.
But I think you just can't deny Eastern Wayne. Their only loss is to the top team in the state.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to pick against them until I see them lose again. But I think it's going to be a close game because obviously Conley's rolling right now. But I just think Eastern Wayne goes on the road and gets a big win. And that is a huge win for both those teams. I mean, you need that game.
All right. I'm going to go with Conley. I like what y'all are saying. I'm interested to see Eastern Wayne play, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, though. I'm just looking. They beat South Central by a touchdown.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
They lost to New Bern, which is New Bern. But then they score 63 points against Rose. It's kind of like it hasn't been, I guess, totally consistent. So I don't think they can play as well as they did last Friday.
Okay.
I didn't cover the game. I don't know. But I'm assuming they're not going to score 63 again.
Yeah.
So I kind of like Conley in that spot. I think Conley maybe has a little bit of chip on their shoulder or whatever.
Conley is good at home.
Yeah, Eastern Wayne's feeling good about last week. Conley's more looking forward to this week. I don't know. I'll take the Vikings. Maybe an upset. I don't know.
I don't know if that's much of an upset if you really think about it. Vikings have scored 30-plus points in 4 straight games.
They're 6-2. I mean, obviously this is a huge matchup, a heavyweight matchup. I think I'll take the Vikings at home to win a close one. Jim, next game, staying in this conference, another really important game too. CB Aycock plays South Central.
Yeah, this is a big one for South Central. They've gotten some of the bigger teams in the conference in the rearview mirror right now, and they're coming off a win. So CB Aycock's one of those interesting teams. They're 4-5, struggling in conference. But I saw them give Rose some fits earlier this season. Morrow, their quarterback's really athletic, keeps a lot of plays alive. Toward the end of the game, to line him up wide receiver, they can do a bunch of different things with them. This is one of those things where South Central's got the New Bern and Rose behind them. This is your stretch run. This is your chance to get some wins.
Yep.
Got this game. Got a game with Pasquotank for that big Conley showdown. You want to do a lot for your seeding. This is the week to do it.
Yeah, I agree. This is a big one. Who are you going to pick?
I'm going to go with South Central at home on this one. I think South Central's a better football team. CB Aycock can't give you fits, but I think I got to give the edge to South Central. I think they're going to build off that momentum from last week, and they realize that this is kind of an important stretch for them heading into that finale with Conley.
I agree. I'm going to go with Aycock, though.
Oh, boy.
So you doesn't agree.
No, I agree with you're saying for sure, because I'm still kind of waffling a little bit. But I think I'm going to go with Aycock. I think it's interesting that both these teams have kind of gotten to this point in similar patterns. They kind of started the year off really well, then they played the New Berns, the Rose, and kind of took their lumps, and now we're kind of at this point. I don't know, I just kind of like what Aycock has done in different stretches, so I'll take them, I guess in an upset, but to take them to win a road game.
I hear you. I'm scheduled to cover the game at South Central, so I'll pick them.
All right. Easy enough. That might have something to do with my Conley pick.
Just being honest.
I'll take the next game. Farmville Central, in another important game. We're obviously kind of the theme here. They travel to Southwest Edgecombe. Both teams are 1-1 in the conference. Yeah. They're all kind of chasing Washington at this point. I think a bunch of teams are 1-1 in that league, but these are probably two of the better ones. I mean, Farmville Central is 7-1. Southwest Edgecombe is 5-3 overall. I'm talking about, but both teams. I think this is going to be a running game. Both teams like to get after in the running game and stop the run. I mean, that's kind of what they're built around. Southwest Edgecombe, I think, is averaging over 300 rushing yards a game. Farmville's scoring like crazy. We talk about it every week. So I think it's a really good matchup. I think it's huge. Like I said, the winner of this probably is looking at second place in the league, or at least is headed that way.
Yeah.
So this is a big game, and as far as the playoffs and implications and everything that we could see here in the next few weeks. For my pick, I'll take the Jaguars. I think I covered that Washington game, and it's still such a heartbreaking thing. I still think Farmville might actually be the best team in that league.
Yeah.
It's just the way it played out. I think they're kind of Washington and Farmville are kind of 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Southwest Edgecome's right behind. So I'll take the Jaguars, but they need to go win. They got to go earn it, but I think Farmville wins.
I like the road test that Farmville Central have already passed this year.
That's true. Yeah.
They're 4-0 on the road. They beat some good teams on the road. That team's explosive. I feel like after that loss, I feel like it still is leaving a sour taste in their mouth. They feel like they let one get away there.
Yeah.
Only thing they can do is win out the rest of the way to get that out of their mind. I think they'll do that at Southwest Edgecombe.
All right, Jim, you gonna agree?
Oh yeah. Just was gonna mention the same thing. The Jags just don't lose at home this year. I think they keep. On the road this year.
Yeah.
I think they keep that going. I think they come away with a pretty big win. That you mentioned that the running attacks. Farmville Central's big and fast. Yeah. And I think they're just hard to slow down.
Yeah.
And I think that they're gonna run a lot this Friday night.
Yeah, I agree. And defensive line, they need their front seven is going to be key to stopping Southwest Edgecombe.
Yeah.
Too. All right, next game, Tony. You've covered Aiden Griffin a lot here.
3 times.
Last week.
Enjoy it.
They're home again. They play Goldsboro in what should be a key conference matchup, too.
It's Aiden Griffin doing what it seems to do every year. Once they get to league play, they take it to a different level. And, that win last week that I covered, they left probably at least 3 touchdowns that should have were negated by a turnover here or a penalty there. The defense is what really stands out. There's 6 consecutive quarters that they haven't allowed a point.
Yeah.
So anything they get offensively is going to be a bonus. You kind of feel like that team, if they get 20 points, that's probably a win. And I really like what Coach Cornwell has done. They never gave up hope, just like they never gave up hope last year. The game last week was a similar story. It was kind of close until halftime. They pulled away after that, got some insurance touchdowns. That team is kind of set up. I know it's weird to say it 4-4, but I think they're kind of right where they want to be right now.
I agree, for sure. Yeah, you can pick the Chargers?
Absolutely. At home, last home game of the year for them.
It is. Yep.
So I feel like they want to go out with a bang there. A great crowd there for homecoming last week, by the way. It was awesome. But yeah, I think AG gets a win.
All right, Jim?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers, too. That defense has just been really impressive.
No doubt.
And they always play their best football at this time of year.
Totally.
So I think they keep it going this Friday.
All right. I'm going to agree. I think Aiden Griffin wins, although I think it's close. I'm kind of tempted to pick Goldsboro because I don't think they're as bad.
That would be an upset.
Yeah, I don't think they're as bad as their record indicates.
I think you're right, though. I think 1-7 is a little misleading.
Yeah, they've played some really tough teams, but they've lost those games, too. I mean, so I'll take the Chargers. I think they're, like y'all said, they're in a good position right now. I think they win a close one. Last game, a team that I think we're starting to like here, Jim. North Pitt is on a roll a little bit. They travel to North Johnston.
Yeah, I've seen them play a couple times in the last 3 weeks, and they're kind of on a roll here. They've won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
After that really slow start, and the one thing I really like about this football team is they know how to grind out a win.
Yeah.
They don't do it flashy, but man, they know how to run out that clock and put together some long scoring drives. And this past week they were just really impressive on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Bull told me after the game the week before they made some adjustments on their defense, and boy, it made a huge difference.
Cool.
And that team was just. It's good to see them win after that start, to see the way they can grind it out, and they're smart. What was really impressive Friday night, they lost their top 2 quarterbacks in that game and still won.
Yeah.
And a close game. Yeah, it was really impressive to see, and their defense led the way.
Yeah.
A couple big turnovers and really just swung the momentum there in that second half. They just play really well in the second half of the games I've seen. So, but this is one of those games too. They got to go to North Johnston, and as Coach Bowles said, they're one win away from being playoff eligible.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any easier for North Pitt. You still got Washington and Farmville Central on the schedule after this one. So this is one of those ones you really want to get that fourth win in your pocket before you go down that play those last two games.
Yeah, they need to get this one, no doubt. You gonna pick the Panthers?
Yeah, I think they go down on the road and grind one out. You know, they did that after they got their first one this season. They went to Northside, got a huge win.
Yep.
Got another win at home this past week. I think they go back on the road and carry that momentum over and get another big win.
All right, I like what you said. There's no like real stars, you know. It's not like some of these other teams. You know, we can name some guys, and North Pitt is kind of a collective unit. Like you said, grind it out for sure. North Johnston really hasn't scored many points really all year. So I think North Pitt's defense, as you said, carries away again. I think they score some points. I think they get an easy win, maybe a blowout win. So I'll take the Panthers.
Yeah, full disclosure, like through the first few weeks of the season, we all were thinking, when is that win going to come from North Pitt?
Yeah.
Where are they going to get it? You know what I mean? Because they really got off to a rough start. Lo and behold, they won 3 of their last 4. One of the hottest teams in the county. I like the story. I like the fact that they've got that thing turned around with kind of a no-name bunch. You know, it is definitely a group effort, as you mentioned, Ronnie. I think that they are focused on this win, or in this game, as you mentioned, because they know it doesn't get any easier. I think they'll get a win and get that 4th win, move to 4-5.
All right, well, that sounds good. There's some good games, so obviously go check them out, and we'll see you back next week.